Get into point number one then. Who is your dream customer?
This is the step that I missed when I first got started. And when I first got started, I did what a lot of entrepreneurs do, where like, you have an idea for a product, so you create the product and then you put it out there, and one of two things happens. Either nobody buys it because you weren't thinking about the customer, or people buy it, but then they're the wrong customers. That's what happened to me. I created my first offer, I put it out there, people started buying it, and because I never asked myself who I wanted to actually serve, I was just creating an idea that came to my head, I started selling it. These people that were buying my products were the wrong people. And I created a really good offer, so I sold a lot of people. And I remember the business started growing, and the more it grew, the more like I dreaded it because I didn't love the customers. And I remember one day waking up, I was laying in bed and I was like, I wish that I had a boss so they would fire me because I don't want to see my customers. I don't want to go in there, I don't want to talk to them. And it was so painful that I was sabotaging my own business.
Can I say love your customer? Is this actually...
100%.
I've never heard that before, and I actually love my customers, people, my community, but I never really framed it that way. I just assumed that I loved them because I had the product that they wanted and it could help them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But I have had businesses where I haven't loved my customers.
Yeah.
So that's rung a bell with me. That has. Yeah.
So for me, it made me sit back, and as I had that business, I was miserable. I was like, okay, like what if I shut the whole thing down? I was scared because I'm like, I'm gonna lose my business. But I was like, I'm not happy. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start from the ground up. Like, who do I actually want? Like, who would I go and I would work for free because I want to hang out with these people. They were like, I would enjoy serving them. Like, everything I was creating would be like helping them. And who was that person? And I spent a lot of time really identifying like who would my dream customer be. And I started, in fact, the exercise I did, I went to Google Images. And I typed in personality. The guy's name would be Michael, and he'd be an athlete, and I started typing in all these like phrases of what my dream customer would be. And I clicked on it, and Google Images pulled up all these faces. And I scrolled through the faces, so I found one, and I was like, that's my Michael. So I took his face, printed it out, I put it on a frame on my wall. I was like, that's my first dream customer. And then I did the same thing for the female side. I wrote Julie, and I wrote in all the things about her. And Google Images, I found a picture. I took her, printed it out, put it on the wall. I was like, hey, this is Mike and Julie. These are my dream customers. Now, what would I create that they would be excited about?
That's such a brilliant way.
And I started shifting how I looked at things.
Do you know what I love about this? Is idea generation is one of the tough things for people. So people they try to come up with a product that would fill a market gap.
Yeah.
But they're not thinking about the people they'd like to work with.
Yeah.
Basically, right?
Yeah.
Who are the people you enjoy every day? It would be a joy to help them. Yeah. And that reverse engineering can give you the idea.
Yeah, well, 100%. Because then you're not trying to be creative. Like, I'm not a very creative person, but I know who my customers are, and I'm obsessed with them, and I know where they're at, and I talk to them, and so I look, and they tell you all the ideas. Like, oh, I wish we could do this. Oh, we're struggling because of this. Like, I have people all the time come to me like, where'd you get the idea for ClickFunnels? I was like, because all of my customers were entrepreneurs who were trying to sell stuff online, and when they were all like, they were talking about it, and they were trying to do upsells and all these things, like all the stuff that we ended up creating. Like, I was just listening to them. I was like, that's what they want. We should just make that. And so that's where the software came. All the books came. Like, everything's come off of the back of like figuring out who my dream customer is and then just listening to it.
Everybody that knows you would have thought that you came up with the idea and then you found customers for it. It's actually brilliant. Love your customer. What else if you're looking for your dream customer? Because again, for me, it's like personality trait. No, they got to be open to criticism, for example. The people listening got to realise maybe they don't know everything and they've got something to learn. That kind of teachability kind of thing. How do you look at it that way?
Yeah, I think it's partially thinking about that, those kind of things, right? But then the biggest thing I've noticed, I didn't realize this when I first kind of started doing this, but I've noticed working with clients for a long time, is they get stuck, okay, well, I don't even know who my dream customer is. And what the answer is, if you think about your dream customer is typically you 5 years ago. Like, whatever you're selling, most businesses are selling a result, right? And so if you have the result, it's like the thing you're selling is to you before you figure out that result, right? And so I always think, go back to 5 years ago, like, who were you? So for me, when I got started young in this business. I was in middle school and I was collecting junk mail. I would order things online, like send away for free money-making kits and stuff like that. And so I would get junk mail sent to my parents' house every day, right? And I come home from school and there'd be a stack of mail like this big. And back then my name's Russell, but my parents called me Rusty. So I always think like, this is Rusty. Like, what would Rusty want? So I'd come home from school, I'd grab my mail, I'd sit on my bed and I'd open up each letter and I'd read the sales letter. And some of them I was like, that's not fun. And some I'd read, I was like, Mom, I need your credit card, Mom. I'd be begging my parents. And so for me, it's like when I'm thinking about my dream customer, who was I 5 years ago? I think about 12-year-old Rusty sitting in a bed reading something like, what would he got so excited he would beg his mom for the credit card? Like, if I can speak to that guy, like, that's how I'm gonna create products and offers and funnels and messages that that are going to convert, because that would have converted me, right? And that's what I think people miss, is that your dream customer is you 5 years ago, and you got to get back to that mindset, because that's how you're going to answer all the rest of the questions you
Plus,
get.
if it's you 5 years ago, there's a high chance you know all the answers to 5 years ago you, right? Like, I'm actually helping the 20-year-old me who's stuck in business, can't quite figure out how to grow the business, can't quite figure out how to build a brand, right? So I totally relate to that, and I know now because I've gone through it. So if you go back 5 years, you've gained so much experience. If you can give it to someone, brilliant. What else?
Those are the core things in the first step, is just really understand that person. Again, for most cases, I would do the exercise where you type in the name, Google images, print that out. Like
ChatGPT now.
Yeah, that'd be easier.
Even quicker, yeah.
But all the personality traits. Person for you.
You like to fall in love by the time you've typed it all in, yeah. But I like that, the dream customer. And then I guess we're going to get into how to get the customer and stuff like that. But so just for your personal background on when you were doing it. So what was special about Michael? What was it that you said that was Michael an entrepreneur? Was that part of it?
Yeah, because I think the people that I attracted initially that weren't happy was like, it was like people who wanted to make money on the internet. That's who started coming to me, and those people were not the people I wanted. I'm an athlete, so I like working with athletes, because athletes have gone through something, right? They've had to persevere. They lose, they win. They're not just people who are like scared of trying, right? That was number one. Number two is like the next quality I wanted in my dream customer was somebody who wasn't in it for the money, but they had changed someone's life. Maybe they were a coach. They changed someone's life, and they felt that feeling, you know, and they like, that was so cool. I want more of that. I want to have more impact. And so I was looking for someone like that who, like, they're not money motivated, but they're very much impact motivated. And then and I kept going through things like that. And what's fascinating is the very first time I ever shared that, it was one of our first big events we did. We had about 1,000 people in the room, and I actually put the pictures of Mike and Julie on the wall. Like, I told the criteria of the people, and I looked out. I said, "How many of you guys is this you?" I asked about Michael, and almost all the men's hands raised, like, that's literally me. And then I asked the same thing with women, and all of them like raised their hand, like, I'm literally Julie. I was like, isn't that crazy? Like, after I knew who it was, like, you were the ones who were attracted. We had 1,000 people in the room, and you're all like, you fit that profile perfectly. And it was just kind of a really cool moment to see that. Whereas when you design it from the very beginning, focusing on that as the lead into any business, then you start attracting your dream customers. And now it's like crazy, because like I would do this for free. Like I could hang out with the coolest people in the world, and they're attracted to the message. They're impact driven. When we help them, we see what happens, and it shifts everything.
I think doing it for free is really powerful. I would also do this for free. I love helping people. This demographic you're talking about sounds like we've got a similar demographic. I think money is an interesting one, because people being motivated by money is sometimes a good thing, but equally the most important thing is that personal drive to improve yourself, that type of thing. Anyway, I love this.